That's right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to attempt a solution to the biggest mystery of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the mystery of the Cheese Man. And I know what you're all thinking. The Cheese Man has no meaning, dummy. He's just a red herring meant to confuse the viewers. Joss Whedon said so himself. Yes, I know, but I never believe artists when they are asked to interpret their own art. They always lie and obfuscate, because they don't want their art to have a definitive interpretation. They want to keep us interpreting. In short, I claim that it is Whedon's statement that is the red herring, and should not be believed. The Cheese Man makes a lot of sense to me, and I hope you will find my interpretation illuminating. I initially intended to do this as part of my Analyzing Buffy series, in which I provide analysis of every Buffy episode. But at the current pace, I don't know if we'll ever get to Season 4, and I do want to get my analysis of the Cheese Man out there. So we are doing it now. What I aim to show, basically, is that the appearance of the Cheese Man in the episode Restless provides Buffy with the key to overcome her foe in that episode. Moreover, that he gives her the power needed to overcome some future foes. My analysis will spoil Restless, but I will try not to spoil the future seasons. I aim this video to be one that you can watch right after you watched Restless, without worrying about spoilers. Restless is a dream episode, in which every one of our core Scoobies has a dream, and their dreams are intertwined. Every one of them dreams about the Cheese Man, and none of them can make any sense of him. Does he make sense? Joss Whedon, in his audio commentary on the episode, claimed that he was there because, quote, I needed something in the show that was meaningless, because there is always something in the dream that doesn't make any sense at all. But, like I said, I don't buy this statement. Or maybe we should understand it as, it is something that doesn't make sense to the characters, and never will, but the viewers can actually find its meaning. Following is my interpretation. First of all, let's ask, what is contained in the dreams? Well, like any dream, they contain some stuff that recently happened to the dreamer, some memories from the past that are somehow connected to the dream, and some metaphorical stuff. According to Freud's theory, which the show makers seem to accept, the metaphors represent stuff that is too troubling for our mind, so it is repressed during waking hours. But in dreams, the repression isn't so strong, so the stuff is brought up from the unconscious, in metaphorical disguise. All of this is found in abundance in Restless, but we will mostly ignore it here. We are interested only in the cheese dude. We also have to remember that one of the dreamers is Buffy, who has prophetic dreams. And since their minds are interconnected, all the Scoobies are given this power, and dream things that point to future events.
Like a shark.
Yeah, like a shark with feet. All of this is presented, naturally, in an alinear and jumbled up way, as dreams do. But there is something more. I am going to present the hypothesis that there is not 4, but 5 minds that are dreaming here. There are the minds of the 4 Scoobies, but there is also the mind of Combo Buffy, the thing that they became when they used magic to fuse together in the previous episode. The shared dream suggests that Combo Buffy is still there, not dissolved just yet. I will claim that the mind of Combo Buffy is the one that the Cheese Man is talking to. Furthermore, that just like with the other 4 dreams, it has relevance to this episode, but also to things that Buffy will deal with in the future. It could be claimed that this entire dream sequence is actually dreamt by Combo Buffy, who is trying to work out a problem by employing the minds of the 4 individuals that comprise it. Every Scooby is working out their own issues, but they are also working on the shared problem, each of them representing the part of Combo Buffy that they took during the merger. So they are different parts of the same whole, working on a problem together, and each of their dreams advances Combo Buffy towards a solution. Eventually, the last dreamer, Buffy herself, will be equipped with both a knowledge of the problem and an idea on how to solve it. The first dreamer is Willow. Willow represents the spirit part of Combo Buffy. What is spirit? Well, it is an abstract concept that exists since antiquity and was understood in many different ways. One of them is that this is a part of us that is not bound by cause and effect, but is self-driven. Our mind, according to science, is created by our brain, and the brain works on electricity, which means that it follows precise laws of cause and effect. That would suggest that we have no free will, but all our thoughts and decisions are predetermined by these laws of nature. But this is not how we feel. We feel that we do have free will. To explain it, some thinkers created the concept of the spirit, which is either part of the mind, or affects the mind, or contains the mind, and the spirit is driven by free will, allowing us to go our own way. This is what Willow is in this dream for combo Buffy. But it is also Willow's own mind dreaming, dealing with her issues. At first, she dreams herself alone with her girlfriend Tara, in a nice erotic setting. Tara reminds her that she has to go, but there's something on her mind that tells her not to.
I don't want to leave here.
Why not?
It's so bright. And there's something up there.
The way I see it, everything Willow dreamt before she got up was her own dream, but this part is combo Buffy, realizing that something is after her. Yes, after her, not after the Scoobies. That thing belongs in a desert that none of the Scoobies have been in before, but for some reason it is part of their shared dream. We see something moving in the desert, but it is not that scary, for now, as long as we remain in our world, a civilized world that keeps out the desert. Willow does that, and goes back to dreaming her own dream, which contains familiar settings and people, and things in her psyche that she needs to work on. But then she notices the creature from the desert, blending with this familiar crowd.
Now, everyone that Willow's ever met is out in that audience, including all of us. That means we have to be perfect. Now, stay in character, remember your lines, and energy, 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 especially in the musical numbers.
Acting
is not about behaving.
Her dream continues, but combo Buffy is fighting to take over it. Eventually, she mutes this dream and steps out of it to meet an unfamiliar character.
I've made a little space for the cheese slices.
We are introduced to the Cheese Man. Willow is baffled by him, but carries on without giving him a second thought. We, however, shall tarry on this moment. What happened here? Well, we said that Willow is the spirit, the thing that can break out of the world of cause and effect. Only she could have taken combo Buffy out of her immersion in the dream to start figuring out what is going on. She steps out of the dream, representing what is known as stepping out of the box, going out of your thought patterns and looking at them from the outside to try to figure out another way. And it is there, in this place out of the box, that she meets the Cheese Man, who tells her, "I've made a little space for the cheese slices." The cheese, then, is a new idea, an idea on how to overcome this danger that we are facing, and the Cheese Man represents the part of the mind that registers that idea. We don't know how our mind comes up with new ideas, except that they somehow pop in there. This idea that combo Buffy created is still in its natal stage, and needs to be developed. Willow doesn't develop it. The spirit only gives birth to the idea. It is our other faculties that need to do the rest. So the mind creates a little space for it inside itself, to allow it to grow and develop. Meanwhile, the spirit, Willow, carries on.
Things aren't going very well.
No, this drama class is just... I think they're really not doing things in the proper way, and now I'm in a play and my whole family's out there, and why is there a cowboy in Death of a Salesman anyway?
You don't understand yet, do you?
Is there something following me?
Yes.
There is a battle going on between Willow's consciousness and Combo Buffy's consciousness, on who will control Willow's mind, and where the dream should go next. They both know that something is wrong, but Willow is preoccupied with her own dream, and thinks the problem lies within it. Tara tells her that she is on the wrong path, and this allows Combo Buffy's consciousness to take over, and ask the right question. But then, once again, Willow's consciousness takes over.
What should I do? The play's gonna start soon and I don't even know my lines.
Play's already started. That's not the point.
Her conversation with Tara will go along these lines, dealing with Willow's issues, until Tara disappears. Willow is then attacked by the arms and claws of the creature, until Buffy saves her and takes her back to high school, back to her own dream. Willow then gets engrossed in this dream, forgetting about the danger, and the result is that she suddenly gets jumped, neck-bitten vampire style, and the life is sucked out of her. We see the sleeping Willow actually going through convulsions, breathing what sounds like death rattles, and we realize that the danger is real. This is not just a dream that you wake up from no matter what happens. If they don't defeat this danger, Willow, and maybe others, might die. We then move to Xander's dream, representing the heart part. Again, we see him immersed in his own issues, until the moment when he hears a knock on his basement door, and fear sets in.
I didn't order any vampires. That's not the way out.
One of Xander's issues is his wish to get out of his parents' basement, but here he feels that there's danger in going out the normal way, and he needs to find another way. His mind then reverts to childhood, telling him that in order to get out, he needs to grow up. He splits into two Xanders. One is a kid in the playground, and the other is an adult working for a living in an ice cream van. This is the battle taking place in his psyche, but this split also allows Combo Buffy to take over young Xander, and thus take control of the dream. For her, this return to childhood goes back much further, and takes her to her origin.
Buffy, are you sure you want to play there? It's a pretty big sandbox.
I'm okay. It's not coming for me yet.
I just mean, you can't protect yourself from some stuff.
I'm way ahead of you, big brother.
Buffy is a little girl playing in the sand, but what she has in the bucket looks more like clay. This will become relevant later. We then see that her sandbox is actually a desert, the same desert that the creature came from. This is Combo Buffy's childhood, her origin, and we get the first hint that this creature is somehow connected to it. Buffy says that it is not after her yet, and indeed, it is after Xander. Xander then takes over and goes back to his own dream, of an adult trying to leave his childhood behind, but juvenile thoughts keep distracting him, and he finds himself in the basement again.
I know what's up there!
These will not protect you.
The knocks get louder, and the fear becomes palpable, as it seems that the intruder is about to break in. Combo Buffy, through Xander, says that she knows what's up there. She's already met it through Willow. The cheese man appears again, and warns us that the cheese slices will not protect us. What does that mean? Well, when a new idea is born in the mind, the heart is often the first to be captured by it. The mind is still ruled by its previous patterns, and finds it hard to fit the new idea in, but the heart wants to find a way to internalize it. This new idea, gestating in the nether regions of Combo Buffy's mind, directs her to go back to her origin, so this is where her heart took her. But the cheese man, part of her mind, warns her that this idea is not good enough. It still needs to be developed before it is strong enough to offer protection. So Xander's next move is to go have a talk with the mind, with Giles.
Giles,
Xander, what are you doing here?
what's after me?
It's because of what we did, I know that.
What we did?
And the others have gone on ahead.
The mind, we see, is busy with the other question, working on figuring out who's after them. It already concluded, correctly, that it has something to do with the spell they cast to create Combo Buffy. Everybody keeps telling Xander that they are way ahead of him, and he needs to catch up. But he doesn't want to go with them. The heart is drawn to the new idea, to the cheese, and feels like the mind is dragging everyone in the wrong direction. The mind is stronger here, though. Xander is being dragged away, against his will, back to his own dream. The creature then starts to close in on him, and he runs away until he finds himself back in the basement. The door opens and his dad appears, whom we already know is not a very good father. Xander is used to his father being abusive, so he isn't alarmed when he aggressively comes close to him, only to find out that it is actually the creature who rips his heart out. Combo Buffy loses another part, and sleeping Xander, too, goes into convulsions. So, the thing is after Combo Buffy, trying to destroy her parts one by one. But since her parts are actually the Scoobies, they are in mortal danger. If Combo Buffy doesn't figure out how to defeat it, they will die. This is what's at stake, and this is the task that the mind has to solve. We now move to Giles' dream, to see if he succeeds.
You have to stop thinking. Let it wash over you.
Don't you think it's a little old-fashioned?
This is the way women and men have behaved since the beginning, before time. Now look into the light.
Giles' dream begins with him using a watch to hypnotize Buffy, which takes us back to the Helpless episode, to the time when he did it under the Watchers Council's orders. The conversation between them reminds us of the patriarchal relationship between the Council and the Slayer. Dream metaphors are often puns, and the watch metaphor stands for Watcher, symbolizing this power structure of Watcher dominating Slayer. But Buffy rebels against it and calls it old-fashioned, and Giles is soon overtaken by his fatherly love for her, and imagines her as his young daughter. Once again, Buffy is dreamt as a little girl, which takes her back to her origin, and allows Combo Buffy to take over the dream. Little girl Buffy gets cotton candy, and Giles tells her,
Now you're going to get that all over your face. I know you.
Whenever Combo Buffy's consciousness muscles in on one of the Scoobies' dreams, it's usually marked by something going wonky with the picture, some editing effect. Buffy is wearing face paint, and that triggers something in Giles. He, or rather Combo Buffy's mind, recognizes that this takes her back to the Slayer's origin. He is then immediately distracted by Spike, and goes back to dreaming his own issues. But he snaps out of it and remembers that he has another mission.
What am I supposed to do with all of this?
You gotta make up your mind, Rubes. What are you wasting time for? Haven't you figured it all out yet with your enormous squishy frontal lobe?
I still think Buffy should have killed you.
I wear the cheese. It does not wear me.
Honestly, you meet the most appalling sort of people.
Spike reminds him that he is the mind. He is the one who needs to solve the problem. He then runs into the Cheese Man, but dismisses him and carries on to try to figure out who is after them. But this tells us something. In the previous 2 dreams, we met the Cheese Man only after we noticed the creature stalking us and sensed mortal danger. Giles didn't need this. This tells us that Combo Buffy's mind is already working. It is working both on the task of trying to figure out who's after them, in which we know it already made some headway, and, in the back of the mind, also thinking about the cheese, about the idea on how to defeat this foe. How much progress have we made on this front? I wear the cheese, it does not wear me, says the cheese guy. To defeat the creature, some sort of inversion has to take place. The traditional order has to be turned inside out, so that something that used you must now become something that you use. Then it will become an armor that protects us from the danger. The mind, Giles, already figured that out, but it is still on the level of intuition, not a complete thought. Giles dismisses the Cheese Man in a way that shows that he finds this idea objectionable, and doesn't want to deal with it. The mind is always repelled at first by an idea that demands an inversion of its beliefs, and prefers dealing with problems it can solve using its old patterns. Giles is still occupied primarily with the question of who is hunting us. He finds himself in the Bronze, where he is working with Willow and Xander on the problem. Their conversation finally leads to illumination, and he goes on stage to sing about it.
The spell we cast with Buffy must have released some primal evil that's come back seeking. I'm not sure what. Willow looked through the chronicles for some reference to a warrior beast. I've got to warn Buffy, there's every chance she might be next.
So, he figured out that the Combo Buffy spell released a primal evil that is now after them. He believes it's some ancient warrior, but not sure yet of its identity. He seems to have another thought, but then the PA system malfunctions, preventing him from being able to express it. He follows the wires to find the source of the problem, which allows Combo Buffy to take over again. But he failed to develop the idea that will protect her, so he falls in a trap.
That was obvious. I know who you are. And I can defeat you. With my intellect, I can cripple you with my thoughts. Of course, you underestimate me. You couldn't know. You never had a watcher.
Getting to the source of the problem, he finds a watch at the heart of it, and it finally dawns on him who the ancient warrior is. It was someone who was created by what became the Watcher's Council. We then, finally, see the warrior, and we realize that it is a young black woman, wearing face paint and rags. She looks like she comes from Africa, and the face paint connects her to Buffy, suggesting that she is Buffy's origin. Giles knows that he has fallen prey to her, but says he will defeat her still with his superior intellect, even as she kills him. What does he mean by that? How can he defeat her if he's dead? He means that his intellect figured out who she is, as well as advanced the idea of how to defeat her, and this information will help Combo Buffy do it. But it seems that he gets killed before he manages to deliver the full info to Combo Buffy. We are on the precipice of understanding who the foe is, but Giles gets scalped before he manages to utter it. Combo Buffy loses her mind as well. We move to Buffy herself. Unlike the other 3 dreamers, Buffy is visited by the warrior woman right away.
I need my beauty sleep, so stop it, okay?
This is an obvious pun. The woman is yanking Buffy's chain, trying to provoke a confrontation with her. This is what it's all been about from the start. She got rid of all the other parts of Combo Buffy. Now she has Buffy on her own to contend with. Buffy, we recall, was the hand of Combo Buffy. But she's more than that. When Willow cast the combo Buffy spell in the previous episode, she said,
Power of the Slayer and all who wield it. Last to ancient first, we invoke thee. Grant us thy domain and primal strength. Accept us and the powers we possess. Make us mind and heart and spirit join. Let the hand encompass us. Do thy will.
The hand encompasses the other three elements. This is why it is right to name the union combo Buffy. Buffy then has a conversation with Tara, whom we later learn is being used by the woman as her mouthpiece.
The guys aren't here, are they? We were gonna hang out and watch movies.
You lost them.
No. No. I think they need me to find them. It's so late.
Oh, that clock's completely wrong. Here.
I'm never gonna use those.
You think you know what's to come? What you are? You haven't even begun.
The warrior, Tara, is trying to convince Buffy that she lost her friends and hands her the tarot deck instead, with her card on top, reminding her that she is the hand. Buffy rejects it and says she'll never use it. This could be understood as combo Buffy internalizing Giles' conclusion that the spell they cast got them into this mess, and they'd better not do it again. But it has another meaning. Let's look at the card. It says manus, the Latin word for hand. But there are two hands here. One is fisted, the other open as if ready for a handshake. The fisted one is the one that goes left to right, like the word, implying that Buffy, as the hand, is an aggressive fist. But if we look at the clock, we see that the sunny emblem has the O and the Y rubbed out, leaving us with S, blank, N, and then the AM, spelling manus in reverse, hinting that she is the other hand as well. Tara tries to convince her that the clock is wrong, but Buffy refuses to believe her. Her heart is telling her that she is not just a fist, but also a friendly handshake. She has both sides. Then she says,
I think I need to go find the others.
Rejecting the warrior's attempt to make her forget her friends. She doesn't find them, though. She does spot Xander in the distance, moving away, but when she follows him, she finds herself back in the initiative, and back to the moment when all the demons were released.
Wait, I have weapons.
Buffy looks for weapons in her bag, but finds only clay. This is combo Buffy now. This is the clay that Xander saw her play with, as she went back to her origin in the desert, and she feels compelled to paint her face with it, like the woman that's chasing them, like the woman that Giles recognized in her. This is the essence of the Slayer, which was invoked in the combo Buffy spell, taking over her.
Thought you were looking for your friends. Okay, killer. If that's the way you want it. I guess you're on your own.
Her mind, through Riley, reminds her that she was supposed to be looking for her friends. But the essence of the Slayer, the killer, is now in charge, driving combo Buffy to deal with the main problem. She already figured out some stuff, through the previous dreams, and knows that she has to go to the desert to confront her foe.
Never gonna find them here.
Of course not. That's the reason you came.
You're not in my dream.
I was borrowed. Someone has to speak for her.
Let her speak for herself. That's what's done in polite circles. Why do you follow me?
I don't.
Where are my friends?
You're asking the wrong questions.
Buffy is back in charge and insists on making her friends the focus. But the woman, through Tara, wants to talk about something else.
Make her speak.
I have no speech, no name. I live in the action of death, the blood cry, the penetrating wound. I am destruction, absolute, alone.
The Slayer.
The first.
We should have guessed it by now, but now it is spelled out. Tara doesn't actually say it, but Buffy gets it right away from her description, because she recognizes herself in it. The woman is the first Slayer, the one who was created for the purpose of fighting vampires and demons. We already knew that something like this happened, although we still don't know how she was created. Anyway, she is the beginning of the line that stretches up to Buffy, and now she has a bone to pick with her.
I am not alone.
The Slayer does not walk in this world.
I walk. I talk. I shop. I sneeze. I'm gonna be a fireman when the floods roll back. There's trees in the desert since you moved out, and I don't sleep on a bed of bones. Now give me back my friends.
The spirit of the first Slayer has been awoken by the combo Buffy spell, because it was an affront to her essence. When she says that the Slayer does not walk in this world, what she means is that she is not part of regular, everyday human life. She has only one purpose. She is always alone, driven only by the killing instinct. She doesn't speak, because speaking is a form of interaction with others. From the two hands, she is only the fist, and she demands that Buffy be the same. But that's not Buffy. Her reaction is to look at her own hands, and she finds the Manus card in them. But what she sees is not a hand, but the 4 Scoobies. She, as the hand, as combo Buffy, encompasses the others, and they are integral to who she is. This is the cheese, the idea that we've been working on. The way to defeat the first Slayer is to realize that she transcends her, and that the Slayer essence is only part of who she is. This is what Buffy tells the first Slayer, which, naturally, enrages her even more, so much that she betrays her vow to not be part of this world, and actually starts speaking.
No friends, just to kill. We are alone.
This is it. This is the moment of truth. The Cheeseman appears again to represent to Buffy the choice that she has. Does the first Slayer wear you, or do you wear her? Is she your source, your essence, the thing that drives you, or is everyday Buffy the essence, and the Slayer is just one of her facets? Before we see what Buffy chooses, it's time we asked, why cheese, of all things? What is the significance of the cheese metaphor? I tend to agree with the theory that already exists online, that it comes from the song The Farmer in the Dell. It is a children's nursery rhyme, as well as a singing circle game.
The farmer in the dell, the farmer in the dell, hi-ho the dairy-o, the farmer in the dell.
The farmer takes a wife, the farmer takes a wife, hi-ho the dairy-o, the farmer takes a wife.
In the game, while singing these verses, kids get picked out of the circle, to then pick the next kid, and the circle gets smaller and smaller until only one kid is left. The song then concludes,
The mouse takes the cheese, the mouse takes the cheese, hi-ho the dairy-o, the mouse takes the cheese.
The cheese stands alone, the cheese stands alone, hi-ho the dairy-o, the cheese stands alone.
The first Slayer subjected the Scoobies to a cruel Farmer in the Dell game, in which she picked them out one by one, to leave Buffy as the cheese who stands alone. But Combo Buffy, in the meantime, thought about this idea and came up with a counter-idea. Yes, the Slayer stands alone, like the cheese, but the cheese doesn't wear Buffy. Buffy is not just the skin that the Slayer wears, to be taken off once she is killed and replaced by some other girl. She is a person, and she wears the Slayer. Yes, the Slayer is alone, and Buffy feels it when she goes slaying, but that's just one aspect of her life, and her essence is actually the woman who lives in this world and has friends. Which means that the essence of the Slayer, represented here by the first in the line, does not rule her. She determines her fate, and with this idea, she defeats the first Slayer.
That's it. I'm waking up.
That's it. That's all she has to do. She has to wake up. Wake up from the scheme that has been created for her, and that every Slayer obeyed until now. The content of Buffy's personality, a content that she accumulated in all the years of insisting on having a life beyond slaying, is now strong enough to resist the spell that created the Slayer. She simply has to choose to go with this side of her, and not the Slayer side. This is what the Cheese Man was trying to make her realize. This seems a bit underwhelming, though. After all, refusal to play by the rules has been part of Buffy's character from the start. Combo Buffy, that contains Giles, may have a hard time accepting this inversion, but for Buffy it should be easy, should it not? Well, it's not exactly the same thing. Before, she was rejecting outside dictations that the Watcher's Council was trying to impose on her. Here, she has to resist something that is inside her, a strong drive. You don't resist an inner drive by simply saying no. You have to develop mental strength to be able to overcome it. In this dream, the Cheese Man helps Buffy develop that strength, and this is what gives her the power to wake up. Furthermore, developing this strength may seem trivial now, but will prove crucial in the future. Before we talk about that, though, let's finish this episode. After Buffy dismisses the first Slayer and decides to wake up, the latter refuses to accept this dismissal and attacks her, until we hear Buffy yelling enough and waking up, only to realize that she is still dreaming and be attacked by the first Slayer again. This is a common trope in horror flicks, but what does it mean here? Let's take a closer look. After the first Slayer jumps Buffy, they fight a bit, but then Buffy breaks it up and says,
It's over. We don't do this anymore.
Who shouts enough? It's Buffy's voice, but I surmise that the one who shouts is Combo Buffy. It was she who decided to wake up. And so she does, and once she does, the spell that created her is broken, and she is no more. This means that the Scoobies are all back to being just themselves, and the other three are out of the reach of the first Slayer, who is tied to Buffy's subconscious. We see that they are okay now. So Combo Buffy woke up and left the building, but Buffy is still dreaming, which means that the first Slayer is not gone just yet. What is she doing? She is attacking Buffy's hand, thinking this is the part she needs to destroy. She doesn't realize that Combo Buffy is no longer with us. Apparently, she was angered so much by Buffy's dismissal that she decided there's no point in trying to convince her, and it is better to kill her and make way for a more obedient Slayer. But Buffy now has the mental strength to resist her, the strength to realize that it is just a dream in which no harm can come to the dreamer. Buffy does realize it, and dismisses her yet again.
Are you quite finished? It's over, okay? I'm going to ignore you, and you're going to go away. You're really gonna have to get over the whole primal power thing. You're not the source of me.
This is the final dismissal, and it causes everyone to wake up. The episode ends with a fun little coda, in which they are discussing what happened.
You alright?
Yeah. I think I might jump in the shower.
You seem a bit...
A little. The first layer. I never really thought about it. It was intense. I guess you guys got a taste of that, huh?
Yeah, from now on, you keep your Slayer friends out of my dreams. Is that clear?
She's not good for the sleeping.
Well, at least you all didn't dream about that guy with the cheese. Don't know where the hell that came from.
You think you know what's to come? What you are? You haven't even begun.
The dream's warning echoes in Buffy's mind, and in the next season, it will send her on a quest to learn more about her origin. She, and the Scoobies, will give no further thought to the Cheese Man. They don't even admit that they all dreamt him. But what the Cheese Man did to Buffy's psyche will have long-term effects. In the opening episode of the next season, someone will already try to use her Slayer essence to control her, and will test her ability to resist it, an ability she acquired here. And then, sometime in the future, the Cheese Man will return. I will say just a few words about it, doing my best to avoid spoilers, but I think those who watch the entire show will catch my drift. There will come a point, in a future season, in which Buffy will go back to her origin, and will be asked to make a choice. She will be offered more power, but for that, she will have to resign herself to the old order. It will seem like her only chance of winning, unless she can find another way. In the following episode, we shall see the Cheese Man again, for a split second, in another character's dream, unrelated to the dream or the dreamer. This little cameo is a little Easter egg, to hint that here is where the idea planted back in Restless is about to achieve full fruition. It will be then that Buffy will have to take another look at this whole cheese stands alone business, to see if maybe she can invert the old order, turn it into something that she wears, and gain unprecedented power.